You're tuned in to the Brand Ambassador Select Podcast.
Hi, I'm Lenore, your host of the Brand Ambassador Select Podcast. For first-time listeners, hello. This is the place where you help build influence and income while making an impact on many lives. So everybody deserves affordable access to legal protection, to be able to get help from professionals within hours, to help protect and grow your business. And I know a guy for that. You know how everybody knows a guy? I got a guy. This guy is going to help you feel better and protect your business and family so you can sleep at night with absolutely no worries. Steve Remmel is a former HR professional who offers voluntary services that protect and empower employees and their families. He provides legal services, identity theft protection solutions, and debt relief services. All are now services, which brings his clients peace of mind and security. Steve, welcome to the Brand Ambassador Select Podcast.
Thank you. Very happy to be here.
So can you tell us about your story and how you really got involved with LegalShield?
Yeah, I was an HR vice president and senior director. I did HR for a couple decades, believe it or not. It started when I was about 12. And so when I got done with corporate and was looking around at what to do next and be an entrepreneur, I thought I'd be a consultant, and that sounded a little bit too hard. And then I realized that the legal services and the identity theft protection voluntary benefits that were offered at my last employer was something that I could share. I could use my skills and do that. So that was almost 7 years ago. And so for the last almost 7 years, I've been sharing those services primarily with employees, also with small business owners, offering them as voluntary benefits and just having a blast doing that. And now I've added on debt elimination, because everybody's so in debt, and so I want to help free people up. So it's all about helping people, which is what my career has been about, and this has just allowed me to do it in my own way, in my own time, and as an entrepreneur.
So what services do you offer, and the value proposition for employees and employers?
Well, everybody, when you're an employee, life's still going on, right? You don't walk into a workplace and just leave everything behind. Life's always happening around us. So these are life events services. These make life better. And when employees are more grounded, when they're more peaceful, when life is more organized, and they're better employees. They're able to focus at work. They're able to have better relationships and be more productive. And when we're employees, and this is a big lesson I learned in human resources, when we as an employee really believe, based on how our employer is treating us, not what our employer says, but it's how they treat us. When we believe that they've got our back, when they believe the employer actually cares about us, that it's more of a partnership, we tend to stick around. We're loyal to bosses that treat us well. We're loyal to companies that treat us well. And so when you offer something like a legal services plan, or identity theft plan, or a debt relief plan that helps an employee and their family manage life better, it tends to differentiate that employer. And the other thing I found is that when I've interviewed other employees and candidates, they've started looking for these things in the benefits package. Well, I see you got the medical and the dental and the vision. What about legal services? What about identity theft protection? What about extra life insurance? These are things people are starting to expect, and it's a way an employer shows that they care. So you got to do it to be competitive, but you also have to do it just to make sure that your people are protected and you're viewed as an employer that people want to be at.
Now, why do you think that not many companies, I guess, are taking advantage of these, or why we're starting to ask these questions more and more as we do get hired at a variety of different companies across the world?
That's a great question. It's like any other evolution of a new concept. It takes a while, right? Mm-hmm. Ride sharing. Ride sharing didn't just take off right away. It was around for a while, and it takes time. So many employers don't know these things exist, or they might know about them, but they think they're complicated. They think about how they implement all their other benefits. Implementing a medical plan or changing a medical plan or a dental plan, it's complicated. And so they think these things are difficult. Actually, they're very, very easy to implement. And so word's starting to get out now. In fact, we did a survey recently, and what we found was that 77% of employers believe that offering legal services and identity theft protection is a good idea. So that is a huge number. And since most employers still don't offer it, there's a big opportunity there. And so that's why I'm doing what I'm doing right here, is to get the word out that I'm someone that has the experience doing this, because I've been on the other side of the table. I've sat with the executive team. I've been with employees, and now I'm on the provider side, and I know how to make it work so it's seamless in terms of hassle for the employer, make it really, really easy, and then let the law firms and the identity theft protection experts and the debt relief experts do the work with your employees, and everybody wins.
Now, I guess I do have a personal question as you're going along with that. Say my employer doesn't offer any of these. Am I allowed to still try to take advantage of the services that you do provide as an individual?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And people can get these things right directly from me. And that's not a problem. I work directly with individuals and families. I've helped hundreds of them outside of being an employer. And at the end, we can talk about how to contact me for that. The advantage for an employer, though, is that if the employee gets the legal plan through them as an employer, not only does the employee get a discounted rate, but they can't ever use the legal plan against the employer. So even when they're a former employee, they can't, if they call the law firm, so there's a law firm for every state, right? Wherever the employee lives, they have a law firm. And in the employee's record is that they got this through employer X. Well, they can never talk with the law firm about employer X. Even after they leave employer X, the law firm still won't talk to them about employer X, because who would offer a legal services plan if the employees could turn around and use it against them, right? Yeah. So the employee gets a discount for life. It's a great rate. The employer is protected. And so what I tell employers is, look, pretty soon everybody's going to own one of these. And so if they don't get it through you, they'll probably end up getting directly from me. And if they get it directly from me, now they can call the law firm about you. Now I'm not going to market directly to your employees. If you're offering it, I'm going to make sure they get it through you. But if you choose not to offer it and one of your employees finds out about me and comes to my website or calls me, of course I'm going to sell them a legal services plan. So that's just the reality of how this works. Now, identity theft protection, debt relief, they can get those directly from me, or they can get it through the employer. It's a discounted rate if they get it through the employer. You don't have that same advantage for the employer, but still, I think it's better when people get it as part of an employee benefit. 65% of all benefits that people have today are through some sort of employer or broker. So this just fits right in with that very nicely.
Now, can you said the services, there's 3. You got legal services, ID theft protection, and debt relief. Can you kind of break those down and describe each one of those for us?
Absolutely. So debt relief's in my newest one, but it's interesting. I found out that the average family has $47,000 of unsecured debt. Cool. A lot. That was before COVID-19, before the economic crisis we're having right now. Right? So it's only going to go up. So that's a lot of money. And so I figured out that's causing a lot of stress. I got tired of having employees come to me and say, I'd like to get these 2 services, identity theft protection and legal services, but I already can't make my paycheck stretch enough to match all my bills. I can't afford it. And we're talking about something that's $1 a day for a whole family. And I'm thinking, okay, you can't afford $30 a month out of your paycheck. That's tough, right? So then I realized I need to offer some debt relief. So debt relief gets people out of debt in 3 years, immediately cuts their principal, cuts their payments, they immediately have relief, and 3 years later, they're out of debt. So it's a great program through Mpowered America. So I partner with them for that. And then identity theft protection is critical because identity theft is a big problem right now. According to the Federal Trade Commission, it's happening something like every 2 seconds. Somebody's becoming a victim of identity theft. I'm not talking about a data breach.
That often?
I'm talking about somebody using your information, being opening up loan in your name or using your information and, those warrant out for your arrest or just completely awful stuff, right? So identity theft protection that will solve the problem, not just tell you there's a problem, not just monitor your information, but actually give you expertise, keep your information safe, give you data privacy tools and advice, and solve the problem if you're a victim. So that's what ID Shield is. Through LegalShield. And then LegalShield offers, I think, the very best legal services plan out there. I looked at all of them and decided to rep LegalShield because, like I said before, you get a law firm, they'll help you get your will done, they'll defend a traffic ticket, you got a mobile app on the phone, and you have unlimited access to attorneys. They normally cost $300, $400, $500 an hour, and you can call them every day if you want. I know a guy who's a former sheriff here in California. He opened something like 58 cases in 2 months, and he didn't pay a dime over his monthly membership fee. And it comes out to usually to about $19 a month if you get it as a group rate. So $19 a month for your whole family, access to lawyers, what the heck. So once you have it and you have all this protection, you don't want to give it up. And people keep these services for years.
You know what I have to say? I think people, like you said, when you said like those really high-end numbers, they don't realize that there are companies out there like the ones that you're doing that offer these at an affordable rate for the average everyday American that can maybe just spend $1 a day for this, which is really not much when you think about it.
Yeah, it's amazing. And a great analogy is Netflix, right? Or Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
10 years ago, if you had said, you're going to be able to watch hundreds of movies and TV shows, stream it on any device, right from your home, for $1 a day, or people would have said, you're crazy. I go to the movies and I pay, $25 to take my family to the movies. How the heck could, and now look, right? So it's when an idea's time has come, it's come. It doesn't mean the industry is invented. It means it's being reinvented. There'll always be law firms, but we've got now a better way to deliver services. And trust me, the attorneys like it too, because they don't have to bill by the hour. I'll let you know a little secret. I got lots of friends that are attorneys, including my daughter. They hate billing by the hour. They don't like it. They may make good money, but it's a pain. And here they can go home at night to their families, and during the day they answer the phone and they talk to people as long as they need, and they have to help them and not worry about sending out a bill. Everybody wins.
True. It's like it's a win-win situation, like you said.
Yeah.
So with all of these services, I think they're very fitting to today's current COVID-19 crisis. How do they really fit in, though?
Well, today's crisis has really raised the bar in terms of need, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. And so I think right now what I'm seeing is people are confused about what their rights are, what the new laws are. Unfortunately, identity theft scams are at an all-time high because people are home, they're vulnerable. There's been identity theft scams just taking people's, CARES money, taking unemployment money away from people. It's been horrible, and people are going into debt even deeper now because they have less income and they still got to pay bills. So these services are needed even more, and so quite frankly, that's why I decided to do this now. I've never done anything like this before, but I want to reach as many people as possible. I work across the whole country, United States and Canada, and I travel. I just came back last week from a trip to a manufacturing facility in Maryland where they manufacture hand sanitizer 24/7. And I was out there. I met with all 150 people, different shifts. I was in there at 5 a.m, 11 o'clock at night, and it was a lot of fun. It was just knowing that I was connecting with these people, giving them something that they really, really need to keep their lives together and keep things moving. So, I'm able to do this over Zoom. It works great remotely, but when I need to be there in front of folks, I'm willing to do that too.
I can just tell your passion through this whole conversation. So thank you for really just thinking about everybody but yourself right now.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me. This has been a lot of fun, and I just encourage people to get a hold of me and let's have a conversation and then share some information, and so an employer can make an informed decision.
So if you are an employer or an employee looking for any of these benefits, you can contact Steve. You can head to remmelsolutions.com. That's REMMEL Solutions, SOLUTIONS.com. Feel free to send him an email as well. It's steve@remmelsolutions.com, or you can even give him a call. The number is 408-509-5315.
That's right. Yeah, I've got some videos on that website too that I made just to kind of share ways I've used these services and how they've impacted my life and why I'm so passionate about it.
Any last minute advice you'd like to share with the listeners?
My last advice would be, it is a dangerous and complicated world out there. And I'm not just saying that just because of COVID-19. I think it's been true for a long time, or they just keep passing more laws and things get more difficult for people. And so my advice is, don't suffer in silence. Don't think that you have to pay thousands of dollars or $100 an hour to get help. If you've got an issue, there is affordable help that's effective. And give me a call, and let's see what we can do to help you and help those who can.
Well, Steve, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for all the information and really just trying to help us through our everyday lives. So remember to hit that subscribe button wherever you may be listening to the Brand Ambassador Select podcast, so you never miss an episode and you never miss important information like today, like the stuff we were talking about right now. I'm your host, Lenora, and we will see you next time.